Good morning, everybody. Today is April 8th. I'm a little delayed in getting this video out. I do apologize. I think I've decided I'm going to start posting them on Wednesdays because my last day of the week is Wednesday, and I don't want people going ahead and doing next week's work before they've done this week's. So this is going to hopefully make it more organized. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started. We're going to talk about the word of the week. The word of the week is adagio. That's Adagio. Adagio. And it means in a slow tempo. Okay? So I'm going to play a song that is in a slow tempo. I'm playing Waltz in C Major by Anton Diabelli. See? Very slow. It's not fast, it's not upbeat. It is what it is. So make sure you write down adagio and your A's and your word of the week glossary and the meaning in slow tempo. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to our scale. So the scale that we're going to do, we've done C major. We've done G major. Now this week we're going to learn that next one, F major. We're going to put our hands in F positions. That's when our thumb is on F and our pinky is on F. So just like how C started on both C's, G starts on both G's, just moving one key down to get to F. And it's very similar. The only difference is our 4 and 2, these two fingers are on a flat. Now I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So this would be if there were no flats. On our left hand, we're going to be taking our 2 and playing B flat. The same thing on the right hand. It's going to be playing B flat. Make sure you have a good view. See, my 4 is on this key and my 2 is on this key, but it's the same pattern. So just make sure whenever you're going up, whenever you get to this key, that it's a sharp or a flat, my apologies, and then you go back down to the flat. Anyway, that is our 5-finger pattern. Make sure that you practice your F major scale and continue to familiarize yourself with the rest. Okay, that's our C major scale out of the way, our scale out of the way, and our word of the week out of the way. So the next thing that we need to do is our composer of the month. So this week, I'm kind of reversing things. So I'm going to go over that sheet, the get to know sheet, and I'm going to ask you to go ahead and watch a video that I'm going to put in the link of the description. So if you're watching this video, just go in the description and it'll have the YouTube video you need to watch about Johann Sebastian Bach, which is our new guy. But I'm going to read over the summary just that I've written that's on that sheet, and you just follow along with me. So, again, his name is Johann Sebastian Bach. He was born in Germany, so he's another German composer we have. And he was born on March 31st of 1685. He just had a birthday. He would have been old. He came from a long lineage of musicians stretching back several generations, so he was kind of born into this whole music thing. And it's believed that his father taught him how to play the violin. At the age of 10, he unfortunately lost both of his parents due to a sudden illness, and his brother took him in until he left himself at 15. He was gifted with a beautiful soprano voice, so that means he was just a really good singer, and he could sing the higher pitches. It allowed him to gain employment, and that coupled with his ability to play multiple different instruments, he was often considered a musical jack of all trades. Often he would fill others' roles in, like, for example, an organist. Um, Fun fact, once he walked 280 miles to hear a concert. He eventually landed a few positions in churches, but he didn't keep them. He did not have great work ethic, and he would often have disagreements with members of the church. They would say his music was too extravagant and the church music should be simple. Fun fact, he was once jailed for 4 weeks for quitting a job. Can you imagine quitting a job and going to jail for it? In addition to his church work, he also worked for royal figures. He worked for the Duke Wilhelm Ernst and Weimar, but in 1717 he accepted a position with Prince Leopold of Cothen. But the Duke liked him so much, he had no interest in letting him go, so he put him in prison so that he couldn't leave. But eventually he was released. Bach was also a very religious person, and on his music he would often write INJ, which means in the name of Jesus. And he would do that on his sheet music. Bach's love life, he married his cousin in 1706. They had 7 children together, some who died as infants, and whenever he was traveling with that prince I was just talking about, the one he left and got imprisoned for, his wife unfortunately passed away, and he married a singer. They had 13 children. More than half of them died, unfortunately. In his older days, he had trouble with his eyesight, but continued to persevere and play. In 1749, he tried to fix his eyesight with a surgery, but it ended up leaving him completely blind. So last month we were talking about Beethoven, and he was completely deaf. And now we're talking about Bach, and he's completely blind. Unfortunately, the next year, he passed away due to a stroke. But during his time, he actually was better known as a organist than a composer. A lot of his music actually went undiscovered until he passed, and people rediscovered it as they were going through his files. 100 years later, they published it, and they had to finish it and kind of tweak it because it was all rough drafts. So that is a fun fact for you. So what I want you to do now is whenever you go to the next page, you're going to watch the video at home, and you're going to answer those 3 questions. The video notes, the homework, etc. And then that'll be it for your Composer of the Month. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to read some flashcards off to you, and I want you to play along with me, okay? And this is just a refresher, because obviously I can't ask you, what's this, what's that, and then wait for you to answer me. But I can review with you a little bit. So I'm going to review with you, and then we'll get on to that composition assignment. So the first one we're going to look at is this. And what I'm looking for is I'm wanting to know what that line means. So if you guessed it is a slur that means to play legato, you are correct. And it is that way because they are 2 different notes. Unlike this example. This is a tie, and this is legato. And that you can see here, they're the same notes because they're on the same line, and this means to hold or extend the note. So if you saw this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you know to hold it for 5 seconds. But this is more like ah, whereas this is ah. Excuse my singing. So that's just a refresher on legato and slide. Tie. This is, what is it? If you said staccato, you're right. And that means it just means popping. It is the opposite of legato, which legato would be very smooth. Staccato would be, and you can tell that it's staccato because of the way it's notated. That little dot underneath, not to the side, underneath. Now this, what is it? It is a sharp. And if you said sharp, good job. And it means a step in this direction. I hope it's not reversing it, make it seem like it's going that way. It's a step upwards towards this end of the piano. So, if we were playing, for example, and we see our D, a D sharp would be this key. G, G sharp is this one. Now, this, everybody should know what this means. This means to repeat at the end. This is similar to a sharp, but it is a flat. So whereas the D sharp went up in one direction, the D flat would go to the other. So I'm going to show you here. This is an A flat, A flat, A sharp. So A natural. The white keys are all called naturals, and they are what they are. These black keys are half steps that are sharps or flats. And finally, this. This is just the end of the song. That should be pretty easy for all of you. So I'm going to end that there, and I'm going to move on to our composition assignment. Let me go ahead and get that up, so I can go ahead and assign that to you. I hope everybody is doing well in handling this. I know this is such a big change, and stop the light. I know it's such a big change, and it's very stressful, and it's a sad time, but I hope that this is able to restore at least an ounce of normality into your schedule. This is the week that I've shipped out your Bach packet, so if you do not have them at the time this video comes out, you will be getting them this week. So maybe that'll be a reminder when you get it. Oh, I need to watch that video, or oh, I remember hearing about this in the video. I need to go back and I need to do that. So composition assignment. Okay, here we go. The date assigned, you can write 4-8. I want it to be 8 measures this time. No repeat. Time signature of 4/4. Let's do C position, treble clef. So that's the same C, D, E, F, G in the right hand. That's where your thumb is on C. Let's do mezzo piano. And let's have the tempo steady. So just a real steady beat. I don't have any special request. Just make sure you take your time and you create something that you're happy with. If you have any questions, or if you would like to message me, please do not be afraid to use your resources available to you. Message me, call me, have your kids message me on Skype. They can do that any time of the day. If they are stuck or they need help, the last thing I want is for them to go a whole week without being able to know what they're supposed to do. And I try to cover that as much as I can in the 30 minutes, but if they need a little bit more, it's okay. It's not going to cost you any extra. This is kind of my I want to help thing in a way that I haven't been able to do before. And I'm thinking about, even whenever everything goes back to normal, allowing them to utilize Skype for assistance during the week. But anyway, I hope you all have a great week. Stay safe, and bye.